The cheetah and the rabbit, a race of wit. In a vast forest, there was a cheetah famous for its incredible speed and strength. No one dared to challenge it. On the other hand, the rabbit was a small creature, but clever and quick-witted. One day, the cheetah boasted in front of all the animals, "In this forest, no one can run faster than me." The rabbit smiled and stepped forward. "Cheetah, you may be fast, but can you win a race of wit?" The cheetah frowned. "A race of wit? What do you mean?" The rabbit explained. "We'll race to the top of that hill, but we can't use the main path. We must find our own fastest way." The cheetah laughed loudly. "Easy! I just need to run straight ahead." The race began. The cheetah dashed forward like lightning, but soon it was blocked by thick bushes and large rocks. It had to take long detours, losing precious time. Meanwhile, the rabbit, though not as fast, hopped onto small stones, squeezed through tree gaps, and found shortcuts that the cheetah didn't notice. As the cheetah neared the finish line, it was shocked to see the rabbit already sitting there, leisurely nibbling on a green leaf. "How is this possible?" the cheetah exclaimed. The rabbit smiled. "Sometimes, speed isn't everything. The key is finding the smartest way." From that day on, the cheetah no longer relied only on strength, but also learned to think before acting. The whole forest remembered the legendary race of wit between the cheetah and the rabbit. Moral: speed and strength are important, but intelligence and strategy determine true victory. The cheetah and the rabbit, a lesson in patience. One day, in a lush green forest, the cheetah and the rabbit happened to meet by a stream. The cheetah glanced at the rabbit and smirked. "Little rabbit, you're always hopping around, but have you ever dared to do something big?" The rabbit didn't get angry, but simply smiled. "What do you think is big?" The cheetah pointed toward a towering mango tree across the stream. "Picking the ripest mango from the highest branch. But I bet you can't do it." The rabbit looked up, then shrugged. "Neither can you." The cheetah laughed loudly. "Watch me." It then sprinted toward the tree and tried to climb it using its sharp claws. However, the branches were slippery and weak, causing the cheetah to lose balance and fall. The rabbit, on the other hand, took a different approach. It hopped onto a rock, then onto a low branch, slowly climbing higher by choosing the sturdiest branches. Step by step, with patience and care, the rabbit finally reached the top and picked the ripe mango. The cheetah was astonished. "How did you do that?" The rabbit smiled. "It's not always about speed or strength. Sometimes patience and cleverness are the keys to success." The cheetah nodded, realizing an important lesson. From that day on, it stopped rushing and learned to value patience and strategy. Moral: patience and a smart approach are more important than strength and speed. The cheetah and the rabbit, the trap of arrogance. Deep in the dense forest, the cheetah was always proud of its strength and speed. It often mocked weaker animals, especially the rabbit. One day, the cheetah blocked the rabbit's path and said, "Little one, you're nothing special. If I wanted to, I could catch you in an instant." The rabbit wasn't afraid and simply smiled. "You're strong, cheetah, but I bet you can't catch me if I have an advantage." The cheetah raised an eyebrow. "What kind of advantage?" The rabbit pointed to a bush nearby. "If you close your eyes and count to 10, I'll run ahead. Once you open your eyes, try to catch me." The cheetah laughed, thinking that no matter how far the rabbit ran, it would still be easy to catch. It closed its eyes and started counting. 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, the rabbit quickly ran to a hidden pit, covered it with leaves, and hid nearby. 9, 10. The cheetah opened its eyes and dashed forward like lightning, but the rabbit was nowhere to be seen. It ran around, searching everywhere. As the cheetah approached the hidden pit, it unknowingly stepped on the leaves and fell straight into the hole. The rabbit hopped out, stood on the edge, and grinned. Sometimes arrogance is the biggest trap. The cheetah was furious, but could do nothing. From that day on, it learned that strength alone wasn't enough. Thinking before acting was just as important. Moral: arrogance can lead us into our own downfall. The cheetah and the rabbit, wisdom saves lives. One day, the cheetah wandered through the forest, its stomach growling with hunger. When it spotted the rabbit hopping around in a grassy field, the cheetah licked its lips and growled, "Today, I'll have a delicious meal." The rabbit was terrified, but remained calm. It quickly thought of a plan and said, "Are you sure you want to eat me, cheetah?" The cheetah laughed. "Of course. You may be small, but you'll make a tasty breakfast. The rabbit shook its head and whispered as if revealing a secret. But don't you know? I've been chosen as the royal messenger of King Lion. If you eat me, he will be furious. The cheetah hesitated. Are you telling the truth? The rabbit nodded. If you don't believe me, you can check for yourself. King Lion is resting in the cave over that hill. Go and ask him. Not wanting to get into trouble with the lion, the cheetah decided to verify the claim. It ran toward the cave the rabbit had pointed out. But when it peered inside, instead of the lion, it saw its own reflection in a large pool of water. Mistaking it for another fierce cheetah watching from the darkness, the cheetah panicked and ran away as fast as it could. Meanwhile, the rabbit seized the opportunity to escape. Moral: in the face of danger, intelligence can save your life more than strength. The cheetah and the rabbit, the broken bridge. One day, the cheetah and the rabbit were walking through the forest when they came across a large, fast-flowing river. A rickety wooden bridge stretched across it, looking unstable and weak. The cheetah glanced at the bridge and scoffed. It's just a bridge. I'll cross it in the blink of an eye. Without thinking, the cheetah sprinted onto the bridge. But as it reached the middle, the old wooden planks began to crack. Creak. Crack. Then crash! The bridge gave way, and the cheetah plunged straight into the rushing river. The rabbit, still on the riverbank, didn't rush. It carefully hopped onto each plank, testing their strength one by one, and slowly made its way across safely. When the rabbit reached the other side, it saw the cheetah struggling to swim to the shore, drenched and exhausted. The cheetah panted and looked at the rabbit in surprise. How did you cross so easily? The rabbit chuckled. Speed isn't always the answer. Sometimes thinking ahead and being careful is the key. The cheetah remained silent, realizing that arrogance and impatience could lead to failure. Moral: being fast doesn't always mean winning. Careful planning and wisdom will take you further. The cheetah and the rabbit, the hidden treasure. One day, the cheetah and the rabbit heard a rumor about a hidden treasure buried deep in the forest. Both wanted to find it first. The cheetah puffed out its chest and said, "With my speed, I'll get there first and take all the treasure." Without hesitation, the cheetah dashed into the forest, sprinting through bushes, leaping over streams, and paying no attention to the path. In its haste, it failed to notice a hidden trap set by humans and fell straight into a deep pit. It tried to climb out, but the walls were too slippery. Meanwhile, the rabbit didn't rush. Instead, it carefully studied the map, choosing safer routes, hopping over tree branches, and avoiding all the traps. Eventually, the rabbit reached the treasure's location and found a chest filled with fruits and nuts, a reward for those who were smart and patient. A little while later, the rabbit heard the cheetah calling for help. Looking down into the pit, the rabbit smiled and said, "Cheetah, speed isn't always the key. Sometimes patience and careful thinking lead to success." The rabbit threw down a vine to help the cheetah climb out. Embarrassed but grateful, the cheetah realized that next time it needed to think before acting. Moral: rushing can lead to mistakes. Intelligence and patience pave the way to success. The cheetah and the rabbit, the strength challenge. One day, the cheetah boasted in front of all the animals in the forest. "I am the strongest and fastest here. No one can defeat me." The rabbit hopped forward with a smile. "Cheetah, strength isn't just about muscles. Would you like to compete in a challenge?" The cheetah smirked. "A challenge? Against you? Fine, but what's the competition?" The rabbit pointed to a large rock nearby. "Whoever can move this rock to the top of the hill wins." The cheetah scoffed and used all its strength to push the rock. But the rock was too heavy. Each time the cheetah pushed it up, it rolled back down. After several attempts, the cheetah was exhausted, panting heavily. The rabbit didn't rush. It ran into the forest, gathered strong branches, and tied them together to create a lever. Using the lever, the rabbit slowly lifted and moved the rock, little by little, until it finally reached the top of the hill. The cheetah's eyes widened in shock. "How did you do that?" The rabbit smiled. "Strength isn't just about muscles, it's also about intelligence." The cheetah fell silent, realizing that brute force alone wasn't enough to be the strongest. Moral: true strength comes not only from muscles, but also from wisdom and cleverness. The cheetah and the rabbit, a lesson from the trap. One day, the cheetah was strolling through the forest when it spotted the rabbit hopping happily in an open field. Licking its lips, the cheetah thought to itself, "Today, I'll have a delicious meal." It crept closer, ready to pounce. But the sharp-eyed rabbit noticed the cheetah and suddenly shouted, "Cheetah, stop! There's a trap here!" The cheetah hesitated, skeptical. "A trap? Are you trying to trick me?" The rabbit shook its head and pointed at a pile of leaves nearby. "I saw a deer get caught in a trap there this morning. If you don't believe me, step forward and see for yourself." The cheetah raised an eyebrow, then cautiously swiped its paw at the leaves. Instantly, a hidden net sprang up from the ground, nearly capturing the cheetah. Startled, the cheetah jumped back and exhaled in relief. It turned to the rabbit, surprised. "You could have let me fall into the trap, but why did you warn me?" The rabbit smiled. "Because intelligence should be used to help others, not to harm them." The cheetah remained silent for a moment, then nodded. From that day on, it no longer hunted the rabbit and began to respect the wisdom of smaller creatures. Moral: kindness and intelligence can change even the strongest hearts. The cheetah and the rabbit, the unexpected race. One day, the cheetah met the rabbit by the stream and mocked. "You are the slowest and weakest animal in the forest. If you race against me, you'll lose miserably." The rabbit calmly replied, "If you think so, why don't we have a race? But instead of just running, we must complete 3 challenges: running, swimming across the stream, and climbing up the hill." The cheetah laughed loudly. "That's too easy. I accept." The race began. In the running phase, the cheetah dashed like lightning, leaving the rabbit far behind. But when they reached the stream, the cheetah hesitated. It wasn't used to swimming. Meanwhile, the rabbit hopped into the water and swam across effortlessly. In the final stage, they had to climb a steep hill. Though strong, the cheetah's heavy legs made it struggle. The rabbit, with its small and nimble body, hopped from rock to rock with ease. In the end, the rabbit reached the finish line first, while the cheetah panted heavily behind. Shocked, the cheetah exclaimed, "How is this possible? I'm faster than you!" The rabbit smiled. "Every challenge requires a different skill. It's not always about speed. You also need adaptability and versatility." The cheetah lowered its head, realizing the valuable lesson the rabbit had taught. Moral: having a variety of skills is more important than relying on just one strength. The cheetah and the rabbit, the clever escape. One afternoon, the rabbit was hopping through the forest when it suddenly heard a rustling sound behind the bushes. It turned around and saw the cheetah, staring hungrily. "You won't escape this time, little rabbit." The cheetah growled, preparing to pounce. The rabbit knew it couldn't outrun the cheetah in a straight chase, so it quickly came up with a plan. It gasped dramatically and said, "Wait, cheetah! Haven't you heard? The Lion King has declared that all small animals must be protected. If you eat me, you'll be in big trouble." The cheetah hesitated. "Protected? I haven't heard anything about this." The rabbit nodded quickly. "Of course. The lion just announced it this morning. If you don't believe me, go ask him yourself." Suspicious but not wanting to anger the lion, the cheetah decided to check. It turned and sprinted toward the lion's cave. As soon as it was gone, the rabbit laughed and quickly hopped away into the dense bushes, disappearing from sight. When the cheetah reached the lion's cave, it realized it had been tricked. Furious but impressed, it muttered, "That little rabbit is smarter than I thought." Moral: intelligence and quick thinking can help you escape even the most dangerous situations.